Have you ever heard of a theme park built around a comic book village? A place where thousands of families laughed, rode roller coasters, and believed they had found a magical escape in the mountains of Arkansas? But today, that same place is silent. The rides are gone, the buildings are falling apart, and nature is slowly taking everything back. This is the strange story of Dogpatch USA, one of America's most unusual abandoned theme parks. Dogpatch USA opened in 1968 near Marble Falls, Arkansas. The park was inspired by a famous comic strip called Li'l Abner, created by cartoonist Al Cap. The comic showed a fictional mountain town named Dogpatch, filled with funny characters and simple country life. At that time, the comic was incredibly popular. Millions of Americans read it every week. Investors believed that turning the comic into a real place would be a huge success. They spent millions of dollars to make that dream come true. And in the beginning, it actually worked. During its first year, nearly 300,000 visitors came to the park. Families traveled from across the country to see the real-life Dogpatch village. Guests could meet actors dressed as comic characters, ride a steam train, watch live performances, and enjoy the beautiful Ozark Mountains around them. The park also had attractions like paddle boats, crafts shops, restaurants, and even a trout farm. Everything was designed to make visitors feel like they had stepped into the pages of the comic book. But hidden behind the excitement were problems that would slowly destroy the park. The first issue was location. Dogpatch USA was built in a very remote area. Reaching the park was difficult, and many tourists preferred visiting bigger attractions with easier access. Unlike famous parks in large cities, Dogpatch depended heavily on seasonal visitors. The second problem was even bigger. The popularity of Li'l Abner started fading. Younger generations simply did not know the characters. The entire park was built around a story that fewer and fewer people cared about. Without that connection, the magic began to disappear. Owners tried to save the business. New rides were added. Fresh attractions were introduced. They even built a water park nearby called Marble Falls. But the financial troubles continued to grow. By the 1980s, visitor numbers had dropped sharply. Maintenance costs increased, and debts piled up. The dream that once looked unstoppable was beginning to collapse. Finally, in 1993, Dogpatch USA closed its doors. For the local community, it was a heartbreaking moment. The park had provided jobs and brought tourism to the region for decades. Overnight, that activity disappeared, and then came the silence. For years, the abandoned park sat untouched. Roller coasters rusted under the rain. Empty buildings collected dust. Weeds grew through sidewalks where children once ran and laughed. The cheerful music was replaced by birds, insects, and the sound of wind moving through broken windows. Urban explorers eventually discovered the site, sharing photographs and videos online. The images were both beautiful and sad. Nature was slowly reclaiming everything that humans had built. Many visitors described the place as eerie, not because it was haunted, but because it felt frozen in time. Every abandoned shop and empty pathway told a story about forgotten dreams and changing generations. In recent years, new owners have purchased parts of the property with hopes of redevelopment. Some ideas included outdoor attractions, biking trails, and preserving pieces of the park's history. However, much of the original Dogpatch USA remains gone or heavily damaged. Today, Dogpatch USA stands as a reminder that even the biggest dreams can disappear if the world changes around them. What was once a symbol of creativity and family entertainment is now remembered as one of America's most fascinating abandoned places. And perhaps that's why people are still drawn to it. Because abandoned places are not just empty buildings. They are memories. They are stories waiting to be told. They remind us that nothing lasts forever, not even a place where thousands once came to escape reality and enter a comic book world. So the next time you see old photographs of smiling families at Dogpatch USA, remember this. Long before it became a ghost town, it was someone's dream. A dream built in the mountains, celebrated by generations, and eventually left behind by time itself.